Okay, this is open enrollment for Las Vegas Pizza and Emerald City Pizza. This is your opportunity to learn about all the benefits and know how much it costs and to ask questions at the end. I have two goals for today's meeting. My first goal is to teach you what open enrollment is and how open enrollment works. My second goal is to teach you about all the benefits and how much they cost. So by the time you leave here, you're going to have a clear understanding about what the benefits are and how much they cost, and sign you up for the benefits. We are going to be collecting all applications today. However, we're asking that you make one decision today on the benefits, and if you'd like to change your mind, the deadline for final decisions for enrollment is on August 6th, which is next Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday at 5 p.m. If you need more than that, please let me know, and we can do it on a one-on-one basis. Okay? So, my first goal is to explain what open enrollment is. Open enrollment is your opportunity to make any changes you want for a September 1st, 2010 effective date. Next open enrollment will be September 1st of 2011. It's on every September 1st. I want to stress this because maybe in this room you're not used to open enrollment. I'm not sure of the scenario, but I know that at least Emerald City Pizza didn't have an open enrollment. But open enrollment is your opportunity to make changes. We are in an open enrollment meeting now, okay? And you can make all the changes you want for September 1st, okay? Changes are adding yourself to the plan, taking yourself off the plan, adding your spouse to the plan, taking your spouse off the plan, children on and off. That's changes. You can make any changes. Any plan, whether it be medical, dental, vision, all of that kind of stuff. For September 1st, no questions asked. You can do that. You can make any changes you want. What happens after September 1st? So let's say during the middle of the year next year, you come to me and say, Darren, I would like to add my spouse to the plan. Well, maybe, maybe not. Do you have a qualifying event? Is the question I'm going to ask you. Did you just get married? Did you just have a baby? Did you get a divorce? Then your spouse can come off the plan. Did your spouse just lose their job and lose their benefits? They can come onto this plan. Did your spouse just gain other benefits through another employer? They can come off the plan. But coming on or off the plan takes a qualifying event if it's mid-year. If it's September 1st, it doesn't matter. You can make any changes you want. So it's very important. And I'll give you an example of why I stress this so much and why I put a lot of time into explaining what I'm trying to get across here. Is if I get a call during the middle of the year, and I've gotten these calls, I try to avoid these calls. When somebody calls me and says, Darren, I'd like to add my spouse to the plan. He or she's got a medical condition now, and I really need to get her coverage. Can I do that? And I have to say, do you have a qualifying event? And if the answer is no, it breaks my heart. I don't want to see that. I want to see, sure, we can add you to the plan. We can get your spouse covered. So the way to avoid that is just to get insurance for everybody. And I don't care if it's on this plan. I don't care if it's on your spouse's employer's plan. It could be on an individual policy. Have insurance. I cannot stress that enough. Don't go without insurance. It could be through the state. It could be through anything. Just have insurance. Don't go without it. Don't gamble. It's not a good thing to gamble with. Okay, so that is the main purpose for my goal to explain open enrollment. My next goal is to dig into the benefits, explain all the benefits. If you would, in your packet, you only need to grab, the packet has a label up front, insurance enrollment packet. You only need to grab the paper clipped materials. Everything else besides the blue paper clip materials you do not need. Okay? Everything else in your packet is just informational. That's for later. The blue paper clip is what we're going to go over today. Okay? You'll notice that on top is a blue piece of paper called Your Fringe Benefits at a Glance. This is a piece of paper that we put together out of our office. We actually import data from all the insurance companies and actually put it on one sheet of paper so it's easy for you to navigate your benefits. Okay? So is this everything? No, it's just a snapshot of everything, and we think it's probably 95% of what you want to know about the health plan. Okay? So that's the top page, your fringe benefits at a glance. The next page is your enrollment worksheet. It's what it costs. Okay? So we're going back and forth to what the benefits are on the blue sheet to what it costs on the enrollment worksheet. If everybody can just print their name on the top of the enrollment worksheet, that would help a lot. And I promise we're going to come back to these two sheets. Note on the blue sheet, on the very bottom, it has my phone number and my personal email address. All right, I give you that because my staff isn't here today. All right, you know who I am because I'm talking to you right now. So feel free to call me or email me. Email is a much more effective way to communicate with us. There's a paper trail. You ask the question, there's a paper trail that we answered it. It's a very effective form of communication. I might transfer it to my admin or my claims folks in my office, but email is much better. You know who I am, so I give you my information there. So call us for anything. Email us for anything. Let's say you have a claims question. You want to know how something's covered. You want to know if you want another ID card. You want to change your address. We'll take care of all those issues. You can go to Kimberly or Eric if you want, but they'll probably just send you to us. Okay? And we'll teach you today on navigating a lot of benefits so you can do a lot of things on your own. So what I'd like to do is, for now, put the blue sheet and the enrollment worksheet aside. And I promise we're going to come back to these two sheets. And we're probably going to spend most of our time today on these two sheets of paper. But for now, it's the fun stuff. It's the applications. And we have to go through about 3 mandatory applications. So just bear with me. It's not the fun part, but we'll get through it. Okay? So the first application I want to navigate through is the Anthem Blue Cross application. It's a trifold application, and you just open up the first page, and on the inside page is where we're going to start. I also have it up here on the screen just so you can look at it and kind of see it from above, what it looks like and everything like that. On the very top of the application, I will just note, I'll tell you what each application you're filling out, because you probably want to know what you're signing, is that this is only for medical. Only. It's not for dental, it's not for vision, nothing. It's none of that, it's just medical. Okay, so as you're filling this out, we're going to skip some things because we don't use it for some of those. The enrollment application and change form, check all coverages that applies. Medical, that's it. Number 1, reasons for completing application. New enrollment for everyone. Note that it says qualifying event here, right? Later, if you wanted to make any changes, it's going to ask you what your qualifying event is. So if you want to add your spouse later, you can do it. You just got to give us a qualifying event. Put marriage, effective date. Okay? Social Security number over here. Medicare is asking for Social Security numbers lately. Some of the new rules that are coming out with Centers for Medicare. Section 2, benefits and coverage desired. We're only going to check the PPO. And then right next door to that, where it says medical coverage, if you know what you want already, go ahead and check that. If you want to see what it costs first, I just need to ask you to come back to this application after and note this part. So you might want to red flag this if you don't want to answer this right now. But if you know you want employee coverage, just click employee now. Note my application does not have dental, vision, or whatever on there. You can cross all those out because we're not doing any of those coverages. We're just doing medical. Okay? Section 3, employee and family information. You'll be filling this information out, unfortunately, several times. So, employee and family information, you're going to add employee's last name. This is for yourself. Employee's last name, first name, middle initial if you have one. Gender, birth date, relationships filled out, it's yourself. Mailing address, very important that you write legibly. I cannot stress enough that there's going to be another person on the other end of this application that collects it, and a data entry person that's going to type in your address. So if they can't transpose a 1 or a 7, then your ID card's not going to get to you. So So if you write it legibly, it really helps to get your ID card on time. City, state, zip code. You don't need your home phone number in there, it's not required. Date of hire, date of full-time employment. Those dates should be the same. If they're not, the date of full-time employment is the one I really need. And that's really the date you were promoted. It's the date that you became an eligible employee for the benefit plan. Who here is in their 30-day waiting period for benefits? Anybody? For any new hires, I need the exact date on the date of full-time employment, the exact date. For anybody that's been here for over 60 days, just put the month and the year is fine. But for new hires, I need the exact date because the waiting period is first of the month after 30 days.
So that's December of '09 for most of us, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
December 27th.
All right. December 22nd of '09 for most folks. Company name is filled out, Las Vegas Pizza. Go ahead and put your position in there. And then we don't need hourly salary. And we don't, the hours worked per week, just put 40. It's not, this is just making sure you're a full-time employee. And then we don't need earnings on this application because there's nothing attached to the salary. If you would like to add your spouse to the plan, this is where you're going to fill out the information right below the employee. You're going to do the same thing you did for yourself. You're going to add spouse, last name. Note that this application says domestic partners on it. However, they use this for a larger group as well. So this app's kind of universal and gets used for different size groups. So domestic partners not eligible on this plan. So it's only spouses that are married. Okay? Add spouse, last name, first name, middle initial, same thing you did for the employee. If you have a different last name than your spouse, you want to click this box. I don't think you need it. And then please put your spouse's social security number there. It really helps us because Medicare asks us for it and we need to give it to them. Otherwise, we need to come back and ask you for it. If you don't have it today, some people should have bring in their spouse's social security number if you got an email saying here's what you need to be prepared for the meeting. But if you didn't, I understand. You can email me. Like I said, the email's on the bottom of the blue sheet of paper. Or if you don't feel comfortable emailing your social security number, you can just call us and we can fill it in for you after we collect the app from you. Okay, but please remember to do that because otherwise we got to hunt you down and get it from you. So spouse, and now this is where you put your dependents. Any children? Again, if you're not going to put your children on the plan, don't put them on this application. So, and you fill it out in the same pattern that you filled out the employee and the spouse. Children's social security numbers are not as important. Medicare is really just like looking for spouse and dependents and children, self and spouse. Anybody here have more than 3 children? It's going to be on the plan. So I would have to give you another application because this only fits 3 children on this app. I would fall into that category, but I would need another app.